Do you find yourself burned out, stressed out, just overwhelmed to the max as a leader or in your life? Hi, I'm Coach John. Welcome to 365 Days of Leadership Excellence, integrating self-care into your leadership practice. Leadership well-being is so crucial. Your own personal well-being is integral to that. The more you take care of yourself, the more you'll have to offer to others. But if you are a high-performing leader, if you are someone who just cares a lot about others, if you're a servant leader, you might find yourself putting yourself last. So to be able to fuel your own tank, to be able to take care of yourself is crucial for effective leadership, both in leadership roles as well as within your whole life. Take a moment to think about your current self-care practices. What do you do for self-care? How much time do you put into that each day, each week, each month? What self-care routines do you have? Let's take a moment with this beautiful lake drop behind us to just take a mindful moment. You can look at the lake behind me, you can close your eyes, or you can close your eyes partially with giving yourself a soft, somewhat downward gaze, and take a moment to just center yourself. Feel the chair beneath you, the floor beneath you, the earth beneath you. Notice your breath. No need to change it. Just notice what it's doing. Give yourself this moment of quiet, this moment of peace, breaking away from your typical routine. Now start bringing yourself back to this, opening your eyes if you close them, settling in your seat again, and let's dive deeper. So that was just a short taste of something you can do, just taking time to notice your breath, and there's much more you can do as well. You can align your self-care with natural rhythms of the seasons, of your day. If you have a little less energy in the wintertime, you can use that to snuggle in by a warm fire or under a blanket. In summer, your self-care might be more active, getting out into nature more, getting out into the sun more. So look for natural rhythms that you can use in your self-care practices. Now, I highly recommend small daily practices for sustained well-being. Finding at least 1 to 3 things that bring you joy, bring you rejuvenation, help you to settle in, help you to respond to stress. So once you have those 1 to 3 things, start each day with one of those things that fuels you, that gets you ready for your day, that helps you really start your day on a good foot. And then if you have something challenging later in the day, then you can always do one of those things as a response to that challenge, to that stress. And then the more you're able to do this, to really care for yourself, it has a ripple influence throughout your organization if you're in a formal leadership role, throughout your community, as you address this to your personal life. And so it's really worth crafting your personalized self-care 365 leadership plan. So let me give you my system, my Shield Success system that you can use to create a vision for your life, and in this case, a vision for your self-care leadership. Start with a vision for your self-care, how you want to care for yourself, how you want to nurture yourself on a daily basis. Take time to write this out by hand, pen to paper, and then later you can transfer it to something electronic if you prefer. Make this in the form of a journey, something that you can start with right now. I am building my self-care journey. I am moving more into self-care in my life. Make it in that form where you can start right now, as opposed to something way out in the future that you aren't happy or aren't satisfied until you achieve that. So make it about the kind of journey you can start living now into your self-care leadership practice. And next is your why. Why do you want this vision for your life? You can ask yourself 2 questions. How will my life be better as I enter into the self-care practice? And how will the world be better as I enter into the self-care practice? If you want to dive deeper, ask yourself why to the answer 5 times. With this one, again, write it out by hand at first. And then you can transfer it to something electronic later if you prefer. The third piece is your focus. This is where you set specific goals for your self-care practice. With these goals, these are more that things that you hit sometime in the future, maybe a month out, maybe a week out, maybe slightly longer, but probably not more than a year to start. And these are things that you do want to specifically strive for and aim for towards your leadership practice, your leadership self-care practice. However, hold on loosely. So if you don't meet the goal, give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up for it. Use it as a learning opportunity. So when you win by hitting the goal, you have moved more into your journey. You've moved deeper into your leadership self-care practice. And if you miss the goal, you still, if you've been applying yourself, have moved more into your self-care leadership practice. And then use that as a learning opportunity. What can I do differently? Was the goal too ambitious? Do I need to spend more time? Do I need to realign things? Are things out of balance because of my beliefs or my values? So use it as a learning opportunity as you set your next set of goals. So that's your focus. Also, every Sunday, pick your focus opportunity, the one thing you most need to work on that week that supports your goals, which in turn supports your vision. The fourth piece is sparking small wins. This is where you take concrete action towards your dreams and goals. If your vision, your goals, that one thing that week that you need to work on is somehow different than your self-care practice that I talked about earlier, then this is something you want to spend 5 minutes on at the beginning of your day. So maybe you're spending 5 minutes in a walking practice because that's part of your self-care routine, or maybe it's a meditation practice that's part of your self-care routine or supporting your vision. So spend 5 minutes on this activity, and then if you have an additional self-care thing that you're doing for what we said earlier, then you spend that additional 5 minutes for a total of 10 minutes. If you're just getting started, I want you to start small. I don't want you to think about needing to spend an hour or anything crazy like that. Small, achievable goals do more to build the habits, to get you going, to build momentum, to build enthusiasm and pride in what you're doing, than missing a bigger goal, even like a half hour, to miss a bigger goal every time. So start with small, manageable wins. Use that idea of Kobe Bryant here, where small wins over time get the big victories. He says it's not a day of practice, a week of practice, a month, or even a year. It's multiple years where these small wins build up to big victories. So start with this daily habit, this daily practice, and also build in 5 people who support your vision, support you in this, and are in alignment with what you're trying to do. Spend your time with these people, share your dreams with these people, because this will be your community to support your journey. Sometimes it's helpful too to have a professional guide that can help you along your way. And it doesn't always mean you have to spend money. Sometimes there are free programs out in the community that you can get some of that support. But you'll go there faster and maybe be able to dive deeper with professional support. So this combination of habit and community helps you where willpower gets weak. Your willpower will wear out. So having these habits help keep you going, and having a community that knows what you're going for will help keep you going. So the last piece is the self-care routine I talked about earlier. Bring yourself to self-care every day. The last step, typically you can do that just Monday through Friday. This step with self-care, do it every day. You have the 1 to 3 things that are going to bring you joy, rejuvenate you, energize you. You're doing that 5 minutes each morning, and then you're doing that in response to things that challenge you. So those are the 5 steps of the self-care, my Shield success system, which you can use for your self-care leadership practice. Use this to help build your journey, and reach out to me with any questions. Let me give you some support that you can use on your way. First is leadersupportcircle.com. It's a free community where you can get many of the things that we've talked about here today. You can get community to support you on your journey. You can get prompts to help you figure out your goals, your focus, and more. So join us there. Another thing that you can get is a free self-care guide. So look in the comments or look in the description of this video for the link for a free self-care guide. If you don't see it, give me a shout. I'd be happy to help connect you to that. Third is a free coffee chat. Go to plan4success.help. Plan4success.help, and that would give you an opportunity to jump on my calendar, skip the lines, and get a free 15-minute coffee chat with me. So if you have any questions or you want to tailor your program for what you're doing, tailor the Shield Success System for your unique situation, let me know. I'd be happy to sit with you. Finally, there are much deeper opportunities. So if you're looking to get your questions answered more deeply, faster, you might really like some of the other opportunities like my mastermind, the Leaders Collective. We meet 4 times a month where you get to enter a hot seat question, get to see me face to face. So I see you, you see me in a Zoom or similar setting, and I answer those questions. And even if you can't make it, I answer the questions and record them so that you can refer to them later. So those are some resources on your journey. So I'm so glad to have you here, this lakeside version of my coaching workshop. Thank you for joining me for 365 days of leadership excellence, integrating self-care into your leadership practice. I'm Coach John of LeaderSupportCircle.com, rooting for you as you follow your heart, live your best life, and change the world. Have a great day, friends.